Hi, this is Taisha Woodcock with ITEC 7500, Artifact 11, Criterion 20, 21, and 22. Criterion 20 is to manage the use of technology for learning in a non-traditional classroom setting. Standard 6.2 and 6B, Managing Technology and Learning. Candidates manage the use of technology and student learning strategies in a variety of environments such as digital platforms, virtual environments, hands-on makerspace, or in the field. My artifact shows how I kept learners engaged and on task when they were learning in a non-traditional way. Here, learners were introduced to make code. We worked together to show learners how to use codes to show a heart in their names. We also showed them the different elements in each category for basic and variables and loops. I introduced the digital design book in a program called Book Creator. I created a template book based off the engineering design, and I was able to share it to each student in the classroom. I guided students in the use of the program. This digital platform allowed students to view each other's books if they chose to. For this class, the collaboration was turned off for this assignment. The technology teacher and I reviewed classroom expectations for the use of technology in the classroom. In the digital book that each student received, we listed the expectations for each learner. I focused on the I can do statements and the district's expectations for the students using technology, such as keeping their hands on their own computer, respecting the computer equipment, always using their login information, um, be respectful, be kind, and of course, following the school-wide expectation of be here, be ready, be respectful. Criterion 21. Create opportunities for students to use a design process and or computational thinking. Standard 6.36C. The learners were introduced to MakeCode and the Microbit Code program and simulator. Students are directed in the use of the program and given the opportunity to explore and see their code on the simulator. Students were tasked with creating a step counter using the microbit code. In Book Creator, I created a template of the engineering design journal to share with each student. I was able to tailor it to our learners' needs. It's the cover of the digital book. Students were able to really manipulate every single page. This is part of the design process. Students followed the engineering design process and answered questions in the digital book about how to create a step counter using a microbit. They identified the problem and they were able to brainstorm. After going over the MakeCode website and coding, learners brainstormed ideas on the most effective ways to use a microbit as a step counter. They were able to write out bulleted points and include how they might attach it to their ankle or shoe. Then they were in the planning process where they brainstormed, learners listed the materials that were needed, um, and also were able to create flowcharts to try to plan out how to design the microbit. They worked after brainstorming, they followed the microbit tutorial on MakeCode on how to make a step counter. And part of Create and Build It, learners attach materials, the microbit battery pack with batteries, and chose tape, rubber bands, or pipe cleaners to secure the microbit to their persons. For tests, where they evaluated the prototype, they tested the step counter and their attachment by walking around the room and hallways. They evaluate the prototype. When they return to the classroom, they record their steps in their online book, and they were able to reflect and improve um, about the design of the step counter and their attachment. Criterion 22, Model and Nurture Creativity. Standard 6.4 6D, Creativity. Model and nurture creativity and creative expression to communicate ideas, knowledge, or connections. Introducing the topic of microbits and um, coding, I was able to demonstrate creativity to students by showing them a video of my robotic unicorn I created in ITEC 7485. I showed a video of the pet unicorn and what it could do using the microbit. I was able to show some of the design process that I went through while making the pet robotic unicorn. I included these images in the student's digital engineering book. I also shared what the code looked like in the end. With the design journals, I was able to show students how they could personalize their journals. Some did simple background changes, um, changing the color of the different fonts, but for the most part, many of them left the book as it was. Learners were given supplies to decide how to attach the microbit and battery pack to their ankle or shoe. Some tried one design, took a few steps, and it fell off. They had to redesign the attachment. Here are examples of some student designs. As you see, one student just basically put it through their shoelaces and kind of secured it with some duct tape. Another student used duct tape to attach the battery pack and pipe cleaners to attach the microbit to themselves. We did have to be careful with the duct tape because we realized that it would pull off the LED lights on the microbit. Thank you.